Hello guys and welcome to part 2. In this section, we will show you how to build the web scrapper and containerize it using Docker. But first, let us take another look at the website again, so you understand how exactly this scrapper is going to work. The site has the backwards calendar button that takes a stake by 1 week exactly. The scrapper will cycle between these pages and collect the data as it moves. It will continue to do so, until it reaches the end of the calendar, which is at January 2007 I believe. There will be two versions of this scrapper, a batch and a monthly. The names are self-explanatory, one is for scrapping historical data, and the other will be used on a monthly basis. We can set the calendar to collect 1 month at a time, but once you hit the back button again, it resets to 1 week, so you can already see a problem for the current month button. Initially when starting, the calendar will be set to the current month, then we scrape moving backwards. This data will be stored in two folders as follows, a batch folder and a monthly folder. The batch folder will contain all historical data, and the monthly folder will contain the data for the previous month, meaning once this month ends, the scrapper collects for that month. This approach is simpler and prevents us from using a stream-based approach, hence batch work here. Then after collecting the data, it will all be merged together into one massive CSV file. This will be saved in the merged batch folder. Currently it's empty, as the merging will be done in the next step. There are a few things we will need to address before we do so. Let us look at the scripts. First of all, we will look at the monthly version. As you can see here, the script is pretty big. It kinda makes sense as we are dealing with a lot of web elements. I will not explain everything here, as we will not fit everything in one video, but if you like, I can make a separate playlist with proper explanations. Next we have the batch version. It's basically the same as the first one, but it runs continuously instead of stopping after 1 month. Next we have our Docker Compose YAML file. In this file, we will map our bind mounts, services and set the container name. This file is what we will use when setting up the scrapper inside of Docker. Next we have our Docker file. This file contains all the instructions we need to build our Docker image, and since we will be running the scrapper in the background, it will be headless. Then finally we have the requirements file. This file has all the libraries we will use inside the container. This system is running inside a Linux virtual machine, hence all these files. Next we will head over to Docker, and see what the container actually looks like. As you can see, there are some logs here. I have already collected the data for the previous month, hence mine is not running. In the logs, you can see that all the filter were applied and that we collected data for all the currencies, and also collected in headless mode. In simple terms, collected without physically opening a web page.